Hello and welcome to the second part of the CAYNE blind playthrough. It's indie horror adventure game and it's pretty hard to guess some of the puzzles there. So in the last part we were able to escape from one very bad situation where our main character, a pregnant woman, was on an operation table and someone wanted to extract her baby. We were able to escape from the surgery table and slowly gone through some puzzles and found some gross stuff, and currently we are on our way to the birth lab, which we were able to open, and we hope to escape from the laboratory of Dr. Frankenstein. The area beyond this door must be important to warrant such a security. Let's see.
Breathe, Hadley, breathe.
Okay, let's check the two rooms first. This display primitively summarizes the current temperature, humidity, toxicity, and other status levels of the specimen habitat. A greenish gaseous smoke lingers around the composite mass of flesh, muscle, fiber, bone, and other organic matter. And the glass barrier, the optically transparent polymer, forms a particularly resistant barrier to the grub habitat. We see some grubs here, which the specimens in the habitat are inert and unresponsive, perhaps in some sort of induced coma.
Must smell terrible in there. Yeah, just thinking about it.
Note this great canister required full drop extraction.
So we will need some canister to find from the second room, probably. Group has Julia Kern locked in. Check in Caligula, Attila, Mengele, Genghis, Mao, Nero, Vlad, and incidents. 10:10 p.m. Vlad was temporarily removed from the habitat using a baited containment canister. 11:12 Caligula has exhibited extreme aggression towards her sibling. Mao consumed 5 appendages from Nero. I have supplied raw meat and plasma to encourage brood gas production. Vlad produced an excess of the nootropic vapor which resulted in low visibility in the habitat. 5:20. 1 cubic meter of gas was shipped to the Kern lab for the subjugation of Samantha. Vlad was returned to the habitat. Observation 1. Attila has started the metamorphic process. I've applied a metabolism inhibitor in order to inhibit stage 2. Maturation. Observation 2. The grubs are responding negatively to maternal vocal calls. There is a possible rupture in the grub containment enclosure that is causing a brood gas leak that is in turn agitating Samantha. 7:45 a.m. Habitat humidity reduced from 48 Rh for the 512-hour hibernation cycle. Personnel. I'm making a note of the crew facilities password in case Boland locks me out again. And the password is flag plus plus. Atmospheric and environmental control. No. Let's check the other room.
Jesus.
You're scared?
Heck yeah, I'm scared. This place. Who could create this?
Monsters.
Gross. Floating corpse, lacerated ribbons of flesh and muscle tissue frame the shattered vertebrae like some grotesque work of art. A mangled PDT clings to the spinal cord. Tether terminal strapping and mangled climbs dangle ominously from the massive reinforced steel frame. Let's try to cut it. Probably will not work, but whatever. As I said, okay. Let's see the voice recorder. An authoritative voice broadcast from the tiny recording device. Gross.
John Kern, note to self, all that have not fins and scales in the seas, and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. Leviticus 9:10.
Let's use the lever.
That was nasty.
Fuck. Let's check the PDA again. And then play Indiana Jones. Professor John Kern.
They were growing someone. They were trying to grow CAYNE.
Cloning is unpredictable. Cloning an individual is impossible.
It sounds like they were using something special. Something called Samantha.
Okay. Professor John Kern, February 9th. Today is a holiday. Henry CAYNE himself has arrived, frozen and waiting for the great harvest to come. Soon the flesh of the immortal vessel will bring him new life. We're closer than ever, and I know it. The race has begun, and I will not allow Dr. Adams, the heretic he is, to win. No. CAYNE will not allow it. He knows his plan, and he knows that it ends with me. Our Leviathan is Samantha. Nothing on earth is her equal. A creature without fear. The Book of Job. 41:33. February 14th. Never again will he die. Never again will he feel pain. Never again will he leave us. He will be reborn of his own duplicate flesh, and not that of Adam's and his ridiculous mind transfer parlor trick. March 13. We are getting closer. Our next patient has undergone the new and improved genetic fusion procedure and is reacting well. The spinal cord has been killed, meaning that the dead cells will need to regenerate and reform into a functioning spine. No signs of physical rejection thus far, and cellular regeneration is slowly beginning. It should reconstruct itself overnight. March 14. Our Lord has stricken us with inadequacy. We have failed yet again. This is my fault, and I must, as always, accept the responsibility. This time I've added hooks to my whip, and I shall flagellate until dawn. I will elaborate on the result after I've taken time to reflect. March 15. Fusing Samantha's DNA with the patient caused the newly regenerated spinal cord to expand drastically, forcing the vertebrae to audibly pop into even halves. Soon after, the patient's immune system attacked the rogue spinal cells, which in turn retaliated by killing of all other attached nerves. In the end, the patient succumbed to asphyxiation as the new cells burned through oxygenated blood more quickly than the lungs could produce it. Another failure, but still not wasted body. April 8th. Praise be, I spent the day, or at least most of it, reflecting on our Savior's brilliant plan. The pieces slide into place. Samantha, myself, and the almighty CAYNE in the same facility. The planets are aligning. The end draws near. Or perhaps the beginning? May 13. I am glad we have finally found a use for Ralph. We have put him to a more productive task. Ha! His blasphemous lectures about how the fungal plague is the result of poor hygiene were getting on my nerves. It is CAYNE's doing. The plague is his retribution for our sins. May 30. Tonight we test again. We'll be using the same procedure as before, but this time an enzyme inhibitor will be introduced to prevent excess tissue generation. We must not accept failure. We will bask in the light of CAYNE's restored glory. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. Revelation 2:11. June 8th. Still the patient lives. However, it has exhibited some concerning symptoms. Although the spinal cord has stopped regenerating at an appropriate time, the arms and legs will occasionally twitch or more accurately fail. It seems that the spine has control over the connected limbs. June 11. The patient is no longer viable. After a promising start, the regenerative tissue again expanded beyond intention. Surprisingly, the patient's removed vocal cords were reconstructed. Of course, it did not understand speech. It must have been frightened by its own inhuman screaming, as it immediately tore its own throat out. After some gargling, it regenerated within hours. Then terrible screaming and bloody extraction. A cascade of rotting tissues, the previous throat begins to form a dangling bleeding scarf as the patient continued to tear itself apart. July the 1st. Oh, that abomination! As far as Sharon can tell, Adam's unrighteous creation has wasted precious flesh in making a toy of some kind. Just like its creator, the abomination has been an unholy waste of resources. Even a name such as hobo is an undeserved grace. It is an animal and nothing more. August 13. Pestilence strikes. The fungal threat is weak now, but soon it will spread to our food and to our bodies. If it hasn't already, this is our first and perhaps final warning to make haste. I've traced the spores to a cargo shipment early in the year, but I have no idea how they became so virulent. Behold, with the great plague will Cain smith thy people and thy children and all thy goods. 2 Chronicles 21:14. August 29. The fungus is having an observable impact on the cellular regeneration process. One patient began to develop a film of what resembled reptilian scales, complete with a secondary set of eyelids. This is unacceptable. The spinal regeneration process has been mastered. Almost any tissue can now be perfectly reconstructed, but it's impossible to get definitive results with this interface. Cain, if you truly seek rebirth, why do you hinder me so? Is this not the time? Surely, there is a reason. October 12th. Samantha scratched several demonic scrolls into an insignificant employee's back. I warned them not to get close to the succubus. She is the devil. Sometimes we need to make a deal with hell to get closer to heaven. September 18th. Forgive me, Cain. I succumbed to Shannon's temptation and had a romantic dinner, rather than working late as I should have done. Watch and pray, that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit is indeed willing, but the flesh is weak. 1 Timothy 6:11-12. My repetitive failure has indeed had an impact on my faith. I am being tested. For the love of Cain, I shall rise above. December 4. Today I noticed that my laboratory is missing several incubators. The last inventory check was several months ago, so it could have gone missing at any time. This is undoubtedly the work of Adams, but why? He doesn't need the equipment and I can certainly spare it. Perhaps the hobo is involved. It is disconcerting at best. December 15. Time is of the essence. Samantha's escape today is likely to be the first of many, and we will eventually run out of ways to subdue her. Their engineered grubs are producing a potent gas that is driving the beast to fluster. Whether she kills us all, or we find a way to kill her first, neither outcome revives Cain. I will not rest until he has returned to intervene. From this point forward, I live for nothing else. Okay, let's try whip with the corpse. No? No.
Crying out loud, what was I thinking? I could only... Nope.
Okay, let's go to the crew facilities. Fleck, fleck, plus, plus.
It worked!
This can't be how I meet my end. I have so much more inside of me. I have so much more to give to the world.
Yep, this wasn't my plan either. This wasn't how it was supposed to be.
You're young. You can get through this.
And then, I'm stuck. Stuck with a baby. It's not a life. Not fair for either of us.
There are other choices.
Bingo! I did make a choice. It didn't end well. Women in my family have bad luck with babies. I'm continuing a proud family tradition. So, this is where the monsters play.
Still no sign of anyone?
Do plants count? This horrible place must have had more people around.
Boombox and men's stripper pole. They had in the research facility also a stripper balls. Let's take it.
Hadley, are you on drugs?
Okay, we have lever number 2. This will be probably useful near the big crazy womp. A retro tape cassette is loaded into the deck with the label Brozef Megamix number 69. Now
Can I get a JOSEPH?
Voice file captured.
Goes on. Can I get a JOSEPH?
what was the recorder? Joseph B.O. now. Let's go to other room. Minor elevator malfunction. Yeah, seems right. Okay, let's go check the PDA first. No?
No! If I turn it around, it might fit. Probably not. Ugh. Terribly decorated.
You can say that. Okay, let's check the electronic safe.
Oh my god. I know him. I know this guy.
What guy?
There's a photo of... Oh shit.
Old boyfriend?
Drunken bar night and a morning full of regrets. They paid for the procedure. They chose the hospital.
Who?
CAYNE Corporation. If I could only... No.
Titles like Bride of the Omniverse, The Cosmonauts Mistress, and An Interstellar Scandal are still legible through the Bloods of Gore. A small light illuminates the device on the floor. Oh, this one is the PDT.
The PDT. And it looks unused.
How do you know?
No blood on it. And it doesn't smell like rotting meat.
First item found. 2 more. Julia Kern. Daddy is anxious. He won't admit it, but I think the idea of having CAYNE in stasis here bothers him. He knows his work is coming along slowly. He's scared to fail in his holy light, but knows that he will. Poor Daddy. March 14th. Oh, that Sharon. I'm sure it's her temptation that is leading my daddy to failure. She keeps him from punishing himself like he should. She scolds me for calling him daddy because she thinks I'm too old. Excuse me, but I was raised with a little thing called values. Besides, she wants me to call her mom. Double standards, right? March 23. Joseph is so special. Do you ever feel like something is just meant to be? It's such a tacky feeling to describe, but it's true. It's cliché for a reason. How can you have nostalgia over someone you just saw a couple of minutes ago? I don't know, but it's the best feeling in the world. Babysitting Samantha's brood is easier when I know I can go see him afterward. April 4th. Another day, another load of brood gas harvested. I understand that we need to keep Samantha calm, but it's such a pain to watch over her oversized maggots. Of course, why bother with the gas when we can just stick Sharon in there to calm her down just as well? They look about the same anyway, haha. Did I mention how much I hate working with this bitch? It is bad enough that she is screaming my daddy, but It is bad enough that she is screwing my daddy, but I have to work with her every single fucking day. April 5th. Time to vent. I've really been thinking about how Samantha only lets Sharon handle her, and it pisses me off to no end. Joseph could cheat on me and I'd still be angry about Sharon and her stupid lopsided face. I wish that witch would stop trying to micromanage my family. May 1st. The 1st of May is always so romantic. Spring is here. I mean, it probably is somewhere or other. There aren't really seasons here. Sometimes the atmospheric controls break and tries to either freeze or burns us to death, though that counts as season, I think. June 8th. It's a tough life. Nothing can ever just be okay, you know? If somebody isn't sick, you can bet they're tired or hungry or stressed out. There's nowhere I'd rather be though. Most people don't get to live with their daddy forever, much less a 5-minute walk from their perfect boyfriend. Plus, I'm working for a righteous cause. It's all worth it. August 14. Ew, fungus. They say it's all inside the ventilation system and now it's starting to settle on the outside of the vents. Maybe that's why everyone's got food poisoning. How long has this stuff been around? It smells like old feet. September 9. Work's getting even harder for Daddy now that this fungus is everywhere. I have just the thing though. I can make sure Dr. Adams doesn't use this as an opportunity to get ahead. Tonight, I'll level the playing field. Joseph likes to bring me into Adam's workspace when we get really romantic. I'm sure he won't notice if some information gets deleted, right? October 4. Sharon says her face is so disfigured because she had a stroke and lost control of the muscles that are supposed to hold the right side of it together. I'd have a stroke too if I had to live knowing that I was such a helpless idiot. Except I do the right thing and just off myself so that the rest of the gene pool didn't have to deal with me. October 23rd. It's been a really long time since Daddy told me a story about Mommy. When I was a teenager, he'd put me to sleep every night with a story about the two of them before I was born, and how happy they were. He denies it, but I think her death has a lot to do with his decision to practice medicine. Now, though, he insists that it was his calling from CAYNE since he was a child, and that Mommy was just an insignificant cog in the machine of life. I understand everyone copes differently. December 11. Dr. Adams has done it. He's mapped Kane's mind into a new host. No rejection. This isn't how it's supposed to happen, Daddy. Just needs more time. I've rewritten the results and updated the ARM computer with Joseph's login details, but I'm not sure how long I can keep this up. Kane, help us all. December 12th. Joseph struck me hard across the face. Does he know that I've been sabotaging their research? He called me Grublina while he ravaged me with some over-the-knee spanking and whipped slightly across my back. Does he still love me? Oh, I know he does. December 15. It's a blessing from CAYNE. Samantha's broke free today and killed 5 security guards. Why is this good? I managed to sneak over to Ralph during the commotion and print a PDT. I used Joseph's high-level security clearance details. I also managed to grab a blank one. I save it for a rainy day. December 17. Daddy hasn't slept in 3 whole days. He barely eats, and what has Sharon done? She's discredited him. He needs to focus on CAYNE. Maybe it's time I finally give her what she deserves. Joseph has been cold towards me, despite me submitting to another beating and some light strangulation. December 19. Bruno and I are over. The bastard. He admitted to me that Adams paid him early this year to fuck a young girl. Was she prettier than me? Does she believe that pain is pleasure? No, no, this cannot continue. December 23. I lure Sharon over to Samantha's cell and use Joseph's PDT to release Samantha on her. I just need a little human flesh to get the broodlings buzzing and Samantha will do the rest. With the security thinned after the incident, nobody will ever find out. Even if they do figure it out, Joseph will get the blame. December 25. This is it. The power has just turned off for maintenance or something. I've decided to take care of that Sharon and then I can set things straight for Daddy. Praise be to CAYNE, praise be to CAYNE, praise be to CAYNE. Okay, so we need a little bit of human flesh for the grubs, probably. Ah. Ripped open door. We will need to get here somehow.
I love Juca-Cola. Love it.
They say it's made from people.
Juca-Cola is made of love and happiness.
Sealed with a kiss.
Let's go here. Let's try this.
Holy Toledo. What's the worst that could happen? I'll be darned. Like cracking open a lobster. I think I'm gonna hurl.
Never did like seafood.
Ugh. I think I'll be giving it a skip going forward. I can do this. Whoa!
Did we die?
That was nasty.
How did we get here? An engraved inscription reads, "These waters shall wash away your depravities, your lies and your debris." The chef d'oeuvre of this perverse tableau, a limp body.
Speak of the devil.
What do you see?
CAYNE. I think this is Henry CAYNE.
Hendry is dead.
Well, hallelujah then, he's here.
Alive?
In stasis. Yes. I know you're in there, trust me. I know. You don't have to remind me. I can feel you, all right?
Even the innocent must grovel in this obscene beatitude. Prostrate human effigies. Rapturous faces gaze into the light, praying for grace and absolution that will never come. The terminal control regulates the stasis pod.
Oh, relax. It'll take months for you to thaw out.
A heavy-duty cryo unit for the regulation of cryostasis. Henry CAYNE. Sallow skin bulges around 1,000 gossamer scars, the surgical seams of this patchwork messiah.
Warning. The CAYNE stasis facility has been compromised.
Let's go to the PDT printing facility. Check if we have everything what we need.
Brains.
Hi, friend. I'm Mal. Oh, wonderful. Let's pray into PDT together. Hi, friend. Hi, friend. I'm Ralph. Let's pray into PDT together. Blank PDT accepted.
That fits nicely.
Cryoregulator accepted.
Defrosted.
The PDT is rigged with blood and smashed beyond repair, but the data storage might still work. Let's check. It's
Template PDT accepted.
Awesome. Glad I don't have to touch that again.
Let's print.
Printed. Oh, wonderful. Your PDT has been printed. Oopsie. An incorrect cryoregulator has been used. An overload is imminent. Goodbye.
The hell?
Okay. The security system is reset. The elevator should be open and I have a PDT.
Excellent! Yes! I can hear the alert. You must be close.
Okay. Let's check
No, I can't.
What's wrong?
The barrier is torn to pieces.
Be vigilant, Hadley. I'm counting on you.
Be brave. You can do this. You're doing it.
Tunes from my own personal collection.
That voice.
Relax and let the process take you to a better place.
Warning. A biological decay system detected.
I never know if I should be shouting for help or keeping quiet. Hello? Hello? Shit! Okay, keep it quiet. Oh, fuck. Sickles. Ain't gonna work.
I'm gonna light pants on fire and shoot central energy.
Okay, maybe just go to the latest Open Brain Emulation Lab. I'll check the security access terminal first.
Oh, come on.
Okay. That was a wrong move. Let's go to the brain. Emulation lab. First.
Hadley, my dearest little girl, my sweet creature. You're alive.
Do you know me?
Know you? Oh, my girl. I know you better than you know yourself right now.
Oh, God.
Adams will suffice.
Hadley, you need to go.
No.
And how is the masterpiece inside of you? Healthy, I hope. Growing quickly now, I'm sure. It's nearly time.
What do you mean?
Our baby, Hadley.
Don't talk about my baby. Why did you take me?
You were the right person in the right place at the right time.
Can you help me get out of here?
Trust him.
Out of here? Don't worry about getting out. Security will be here soon. They'll set this all right. Just come. Wait here. This is the safest room in the facility. Here. Closer to me.
I don't think so.
What is that thing out there?
Samantha. A grotesque violation of genetics. But she is locked away. Joseph managed to lure her behind the loading fence. Quite the action hero, our Joseph. He did die rather spectacularly.
The fence has been ripped open, and your experiment is going to tear us all to pieces.
No. All three of us will be safe very soon. Then we can carry on where we left off.
I said don't talk about my baby!
Fire suppression cylinder. Maybe this will be used in the elevator. The plasma ionizes the air and forms an impenetrable hexagonal barrier of energy. Let's check the PDA.
I'm afraid that most of that information may be a little above your head.
I'm tempted to stick around just to see this place burn.
Okay, Dr. Simon Adams, February 14. The Day of Love. Not that it means much to a senescent bachelor like me, but oh, an old man can dream. Can he not? For old men have nothing but dreams to keep them awake in the sleepy, languorous twilight of their years. One might suppose, and the dream of love is a self on this chap's unrealized passion, his grief, his regret. My work in the facility is a different matter entirely, however. CAYNE has already been delivered to us in stasis, and I still haven't succeeded with even a single subject. A most exasperating problem indeed. Not at least this, as this would be only the start of my own ambitions, my own renaissance. Dr. Malan's research has demonstrated that consciousness is nothing more than a program, a set of equations and instructions and conditional arguments. It can be replicated and it can be transplanted, but much like the body's immune response may reject a transplanted limb, so the body's most basic neural encoding its inherent sense of self, of what Freud called the id, may also reject a transplanting consciousness. The question is how to suppress that encoding, how to suppress perhaps the human soul itself. And instead of looking for an answer, instead of solving the predicament of human mortality, I am dreaming of Joseph Bueno hitting me. It's really arousing. It's not. March 4. Now, here's an intriguing coincidence. I have discovered that a recent but otherwise bureaucratically insignificant employee in the facility is related to CAYNE. The genealogy is tenuous but definitely established. Could a genetic component be the solution to our problem? Acquisition could be precarious, but a man finds luck where opportunity and preparation meet. And this man could use a bit of luck. I have an opportunity, so now to prepare. April 2nd. Hank is mostly my fault. I'm afraid of the calendar, I told him this morning. Why? He asked. Because its days are numbered, I replied. And then I had to explain the joke because Hank is not exactly the most socially sophisticated boy. He is not exactly the most ordinary boy. I should have disposed of him with his host, I know, but I'm modeling, and besides, I'd always wanted a child. I always wanted to be a dad. I named him after my own late father, a man I confess I despised for reasons too numerous and humiliating to disclose here. But my colleagues in the lab call him the hobo. I should probably be exalted on his behalf, but I'm not sure I blame them. He might be a kind of ersatz son, but he is undeniably peculiar. Much like me, since adolescence I've been fascinated, no, consumed, by the prospect of incorporation, of two people matching, absorbing and coalescing with each other and becoming one. It's obviously been a tremendous motivation for my ongoing research at the facility, but it's also profoundly personal. If I could transplant an adult's consciousness within an infant subject, it must be possible, with some recalibration, no doubt, but fundamentally not a dissimilar process in theory. Transplant an adult's consciousness with another adult. It would certainly preclude the vulgar taboo, grisly mess, and dubiously esoteric prospect of old-fashioned cannibalism anyway. And Joseph is the sort of man I'd always wished I could be. Elegant, charismatic, generously endowed. I mean, I assume he's generously endowed. May 23. CAYNE's project is absurd. The regrowth of organs is only a temporary solution to the permanent problem of inevitable infirmity, and a most impractical one. Sooner or later the body itself must be replaced, whatever is his pious pretensions and shrieks of heresy. He can worship CAYNE all he wants, but science is, as they say, a non-profit organization. CAYNE is a client, even if he does technically pay our salaries. Our work here is not some occult apostolic devotion, it is legitimate, if maybe not entirely ethical, I'll concede. Medical research for the future prosperity of humanity, or the future prosperity of our facility. In Ralph's case, we're all about maximizing efficiency over here, and we didn't need a health and fitness officer when everybody who works in this lab is already a medical professional. In the meantime, progress on my own special order is exceeding expectations. Joseph has proven rather more resourceful than I'd first imagined. Although I claim the credit for his extraordinary virility, I've started contriving arrangements for the host transfer to my lab within the next 2 months or so, with final delivery scheduled just in time for the ho-ho holidays. Oh, Dr. Adams for me. You shouldn't have. Julie Tan. We've had a series of accidents in the lab. Actually, I suspect sabotage of some sort. I found some discrepancies in our security access logs, but the joke's on whoever is responsible. Because the early termination of our last 2 host batches has provided a convenient subterfuge for the requisition of my own special order. Now I can watch it on the ultrasound monitor 24 hours a day. All other priorities resigned. December 15. Reports of an emergency situation elsewhere in the facility, although the details are infuriatingly, if unexpectedly, ambiguous. As per official company protocol, I've started the arduous process of backing up my lab work, but if a full evacuation is called, I could lose the most crucial progress I've made on the project. Progress which has in fact come almost to full term. Okay, let's check the...
Hadley, you can't leave me.
Let's check the crew facilities if we can use the fire thingy on the lift.
Can I get a JOSEPH? Yeah, the beat goes on.
Fire extinguisher. No?
Excellent! And I totally knew it was going to do that.
Nothing. I think that's what scares me. The idea that when we die, there's just nothing.
It's not nothing. Sounds like you have a life most are envious of. You have kids, right? A real family. Like people know you exist. Real life. Some of us never got off the starting line.
You will have a family soon.
When I die, I want to leave something behind. You have that. I have student debt and a goldfish.
Your legacy is the child inside of you.
This baby deserves more than what I could ever give. Deserves to be part of something. Something bigger than me. A family. A home. A future.
And another PDA. Joseph Bono.
What a jerk! What the hell was I thinking?
The guy from the picture who probably abducted us. February 14th. I don't even wanna know what happened in the lab. Keep a bunch of pregnant bitches locked up in one place enough and shit's gonna go down. Everybody knows that. But with CAYNE arriving next month and now this fucking disaster, security is getting tighter than my glutes on leg day. Lol. Gotta use that line at the interdepartmental mixer later. Between this, my new skincare regime, and that baby let's make like a DNA helicase and unzip these jeans t-shirt, those sluts from the organ grinder are gonna be slip and sliding off their seats. January 23rd. I hit the jackpot. Hit it. But didn't quit it. If you know what I mean. Gonna keep this plate spinning because her name's Julia Kern and she's only wait for it. Professor Kern's daughter and his assistant. She's a solid 6.8 out of 10, maybe even 7.1 if she'd shut the fuck up. Nice deal to it. More importantly though, she's in charge of Samantha and her grubs. I play this right, and I've got free tickets to the organ grinders petting zoo whenever I want. More like heavy petting zoo. Major threesome potential. Lol. Maybe. But seriously, this is just what you've been waiting for, bro, Zeph. I might even get to cop a feel of Samantha. Just thinking about it is getting me so hot. The new batch of hosts is gonna feel that burn tomorrow. February 12th. Got some annoying new guy bothering us in the lab about the facility's new perpetual quantum power system. Denny something or other. Total beta. He's even got a fucking pet bird. Had to sit through a whole presentation about shit. I don't know. I don't pay attention to champs. I was too busy dreaming about the nasty things I'm gonna do with Samantha. Julia gave me the grand tour around the organ grinder yesterday. I noticed a spare larvae incubation canister in one of the storerooms. It's a bit busted up, but I think I could figure it. The real problem is liberating some of those grubs, but just imagine I could grow my very own sexy mermaid monster. Maybe I could even put in a requisition to CAYNE Tech for an extra office mod. Lol. In the meantime though, I've been cooking up a new sedative mix for the lab hosts that keeps them nice and compliant, but also just a bit awake, you know. Low enough in consciousness to keep them EEG normal, but high enough that they know when I'm working on my special projects. Gotta keep myself busy, you know. March 18. There's something wrong with the food, I swear. People are shitting out of their eyes. I told one of the interns that Danny's been dosing the rations with radioactive goo, because fuck that guy and his dumb ass bird. And it's totally the kind of thing a beta loser like him would do for attention anyway. What the fuck is up with his cheese diet? Sure enough, everybody was blaming that asshole in about 2 hours. Lol. He managed to grab the larva incubator and 2 grubs while everybody else in the lab was cramming the toilets. Though. Hello, Grubet and Grublina. Wink wink. April 17th. Adams paid me to hook up with some chick off-site last night. He gave me a bunch of performance enhancement pills like this sexual Tyrannosaurus needs it all, and I had to get video proof and everything. He was very insistent about that. I didn't know he was into that kinky voyeur shit. Actually, I kind of thought he was into me. That old creeper eyeballs me like constantly. Does that make me some kind of like hot wife? But the dude version? Is that gay? Whatever. It's cash in the bank and Julia won't ever find out. Like we didn't already have enough shit stains around the facility, CAYNE has sent us a fucking health and fitness officer to sort out the food problem. Instead of sending us more food, what the hell are those corporate smoking in the boardroom? Because I could use some of that. July 29. Shit's been fucking crazy. First there are ARM malfunctions in the lab. Don't know what the deal is there, but we've had eggheads coming in and out at all hours trying to fix it, and we lost 2 shipments of hosts. On the one hand, it's pushed us behind the schedule, but on the other, the bruises on those wars were starting to show. Now I've got a whole fresh canvas for my art. And hey, remember Ralph? Yeah, Ralph's out. Technically, it was kind of decided he'd be more useful as the PDT printer's new CPU, and nobody else was more fit or healthy for the position. Lol. Now Ralph's doing some real work for the company, and nobody has to worry about logging their macros and carbs and whatever. And I monitor my own anyway. Oh, and somebody found a thing in atmospherics, like some kind of puppet made of rotting body parts. I'm pretty sure it's the hobo's girlfriend or some shit. Lol. I guess some guys gotta get it where they can, and let's just be honest, who am I to judge? Last but not least, I think Grublina might be pregnant. Yeah. She's definitely getting fatter, and not just because she fucking ate Grabet. For reals. That is a thing that legit happened. Gnawed at her carcass for like a whole week. And her boobs are getting huge. A little punishment and they spew grub milk everywhere. It's actually kind of hot, but gross, but also hot. not. December 12th. Julia is beginning to irritate the shit out of me. Since when are a few braces not a sign of love? A few. Lol. Chivalry when they like it and sexism when they don't. Dude. I am totally the new resident DJ in the crew lounge. My sexy tunes are making the bitches hot for a Broseph meetup. Get it? I've put my playlist on repeat on the vintage boombox Pussy Magnet. December 19. Some kind of emergency drill with the elevator. Don't know what it's about, but it's serious. Oh, now somebody's fucking screaming in the corridor. Good to go, bruh. Crazy motherfucker.
This room is much smaller than the other.
Maybe he drew the short straw.
This isn't the only small thing he has.
Yeah, funny. Returning some holodisk by JB is scribbled in the corner. Let's check the personal safe. Safe locked. DNA sample required. Here's this photo.
DNA accepted.
Voice imprint required. Yeah, we have one.
Voice playback.
Sit back and relax and let the Broseph take you to a better place. Can I get a JOSEPH?
Voice input accepted.
This place keeps getting stranger.
Let's see what we have here.
Oh dear. Can you understand me? Do you need, at a loss for words.
Let's use this incubation canister. It's fleshy creature. Its mouth tucks sweatily at the stale air, bloated teeth having ponderously above a clammy, desultory accumulation of limb-like appendages that clatter and scrabble against the metal pan. Quick save.
Come on. I don't have the stomach for this.
Lol, I was not expecting that would work.
Don't want to take the phrase bun in the oven too literally.
Tunes from my own personal collection. Sit back and relax. Let the process take you to a better
Birthing Lab. Yes, Birthing Lab Nexus. It should be here, if I'm correct, to extract the small grubs to the container.
So they use these little guys to control Samantha. And the gas they give off when they touch dead tissue calms her? I need to catch one!
Hibernation in progress.
Okay, they need a bigger temperature, so the only one place is near the beginning of the game. Let's go there. Was that a hint? So I should touch the fuse generator? We'll see in a minute. Let's go here and use the speedity on this. Okay. We will need to check all the...
The last thing I said to my son was to get out there and carve his own name into the world and stop relying on mine.
Did you mean it? Sometimes kids know that their parents say things they don't mean. My mom, the last thing she said to me was that I was the reason she was alone. That I sapped the life out of her from the moment I came into existence.
You know that's not true.
A small part of me knows that. A bigger part doesn't.
Okay, let's find the room number here. Crew and ex-man and ex-crew. Grab habitat ID 668. Now we just need to find the correct temperature. Humidity 84. RH. Let's see if this will be enough, or it will need some temperature. Let's check it one more time just in case if I missed something or not. Where was the CAYNE lady with a stroke? Here? Probably not. Oh. Let's Let's see. $95. I knew it will be here. Let's try it out. Nothing. And let's try to adjust the room 668 with the PDT. Humidity 84. And temperature 95.
Elevated activity detected in grub containment habitat.
That's what we needed to do. Yeah, man has to sometimes write notes about some stuff. You never knows when you will need it.
Gotcha. What's your name? Frederick? No. Charles. Yeah, you're clearly a Charlie.
Wait. I think one of my sons was named Charlie.
Was?
He died. His mother, she never forgave me. It was my fault. I should have protected him.
People die. Sometimes you just can't do anything. Well, Charles, I think we're going to go back to Frederick. Freddy.
A grub screams and slithers around inside the glass enclosure.
If I can lure Samantha somewhere with Freddy, maybe I could kill—
Yes.
There is one place which sparkles my mind as
The next conversations I have with my children, it will be different. Second chances at life don't come around often.
Second chances?
Your dad would be proud of you, Hadley.
If he knew me, knew who I had become.
A survivor.
It's not my fault that I look like him, or act like him. And it's certainly not this baby's fault that I'm here. That's on me. I can't blame my child for where I am. I know that my baby is
Family.
family.
I think it will be in the generator room. And we cut it in half. But let's try it out here. Let's see if it will work or not. Yeah.
Okay, Freddy. Time to call Big Mama.
Come on. It's time to go.
I can get help. I can find you now.
No time. The elevator. It's close. It's open.
I did it. We did it. This baby is going to be a fighter like his mom. I can feel it.
I know.
Samantha. The Fey beast has been splayed into a sickly wisp of steam rises from her exposed innards. Ah. Well, clever. And let's see now if the guy who I think will be the real kid with the implanted wisdom or not. I mean implanted consciousness.
I'm sorry, Hadley.
Oh God, it hurts. Something is wrong. There's something wrong.
Nothing is wrong. This is the way it was meant to be.
I don't understand. What is...
Hello, Hadley.
Yes, it was CAYNE. God, what an off landing again. But this was not as much surprising as the stasis one. Anyway, thanks for watching all 2 hours of this episode. Well, almost 2 hours. And I hope you enjoyed the game as much as I did. And I can't wait to see more games from the Brotherhood developer again. As far as I'm aware, one more adventure game is in the making. So we'll see if it will be from the same universe or something completely different. See you soon with another blind walkthrough of a game which I never played before.